Mayor's Challenge Cup, always an important game no matter what the records are.
Hey, every game's important no matter what the records are, and this one is even, has added luster because of both teams being in the city, and both teams have captured, some of the public interest over the last 3 or 4 years. And the last 2 games, the first 2 games were really good and competitive and drew a lot of interest, and so I think this is aftermath of that.
Probably, if you look at the statistics, they're going to be favored over you tonight.
Oh, yeah. I would say they ought to be. I can't think at this point who too many teams would be favored against, but I expect another really good ball game, and I think really it's kind of a toss-up. They have the advantage inside on us, and the kids shoot well for them from the outside. But, we hope to get after them and make some things happen, and we need to create situations where we get some cheap baskets. We just haven't had any cheap baskets this year, and so we're going to do some pressing and start with a smaller lineup and just see if we can stir things up a little bit early.
Who will you start tonight?
We're going to start Thigpen and Haynes and Baker and Pettis and Stewart. So none of the big guys, all the 6'4", 6'5" guys. Of course, we'll give up some inside, but hopefully we can create some things out on the court that might make up for it.
Did you have a good practice yesterday after the loss Saturday night?
Yeah, but it wasn't too long. We practiced about an hour and 15 minutes, and mainly we're just going over things that, for the game tonight.
Well, anything can happen. Tonight could be the night to snap the streak.
That's right. Well, I just hope we play an excellent game.
Don, good luck.
Thank you, Gary.
The Don Eddy Show continues in 2 minutes.
A friend of mine is one of the officials, and James Burris. We expect another great confrontation on the court here at Hemisphere Arena. The hoopla has begun. It says, "Go Rattlers, go." They hold up their little placards across the way. Behind me, the Roadrunners have their signs that say, "Go Birds, go." So, boy, this is going to be fun. And it's going to be a basketball rivalry at its best. This game is brought to you in part by Honolulu State Bank. That's old Dale Parker out there, fastest growing bank in Bexar County. Right beer from Miller, Non-Commissioned Officers Association, Advantage Rent-A-Car, Dan Scaraffa Realty, Lone Star Body and Paint, Performance Nissan, Calliston Western Wear, Trinity Baptist Church, and by La Quinta. Also, Med Center Bank, Coca-Cola, and Juan Hell in the heart of the medical center over at Med Center Bank. On hand with me tonight is Lou Houck, our producer-engineer, and our statistician tonight is going to be Jim Hurdell. And we welcome you to Roadrunner Basketball. We welcome you to KRNN, Radio News Network, Terrell Hill, San Antonio. We welcome you to courtside at Hemisphere Arena, home of the San Antonio Spurs, where they lost to Utah last night. And this should be a dandy collegiate confrontation right here tonight. So we're ready to go. Leading scorer for the Roadrunners coming into this ball game, Anthony Stewart at 10.7 average. Harbin is next at 9. Then you got Pettis at 8.3. Haynes at 6.2. Faulkner at 5.5. For the St. Mary's Rattlers, Daryl Derryberry has a 10-point average. Barry Fields at 10.9. And 9.5 for Andre Walker. Those are your 3 leading point producers for the Rattlers of Buddy Meyer. Roadrunners averaging only 42% field goal shooting, and that's not going to win too many ball games in a collegiate season. Ready to go now. Jumping. It'll be James Douglas, 6'8", 225-pound senior. He'll go against Calvin Haynes, the leaper out of Los Angeles Bourbon Bay. Tony Stigliano will toss it up. They're ready to go. Here it is. The game's underway to DeLaune Pettis. Pettis leaves it off for Anthony Stewart, and Anthony into the full court on the right-handed dribble as he perambulates to the right side. Leaves it off for Joe Baker from Kerrville-Tivy. Stewart for UTSA. Hey, here's DeLaune Pettis. He pumps. It's no good. He follows. He shoots. He hits. DeLaune Pettis. 1 out of 2, 50% from the field. It's a mini zone trap full court press as the Roadrunners impose it. Trying to bring it across is Andre Walker out of Los Angeles. Now gives it off to Houston. Long court pass. It comes over to Hanson. Hanson has it almost stolen. Comes back over to Barry Fields. Now Fields gives it off to Anthony Houston, the freshman from Milwaukee. He comes to the right side, picked up by Tyrone Thigpen. Out front, left side to Barry Fields. Fields looks for Hanson, low post. He got Douglas and Hanson double twin post beneath the board. Left side, now Hanson will try to go up, and it's no good. Stolen away by Haynes. Quickly, Anthony Stewart, Roadrunners on the move into the full court. Left side, right side goes over to DeLaune Pettis. Pettis underneath the Tyrone Thigpen. He drives. He's alive. He loses it. Goes out of bounds. It'll be turnover time. That's the first turnover for the UTSA Roadrunners. 2-0 early. Hemisphere Arena. Gary DeLaune, Mike Side host. Hope you enjoy it on KRNN. I'll be here for the next hour and a half. Barry Fields leaves it off on the left side. Houston back to Fields. Fields comes out to James Douglas, picked up by Calvin Haynes. Goes over on the left side to Anthony Houston, the freshman. Comes back out to Andre Walker. He pumps, he jumps, he hits. Andre Walker ties the count at 2-2 early. We got 10:33 to play here, rather 18:33 to play here in the first half. Anthony Stewart, right side Baker. UTSA, DeLaune Pettis left to the paint. Anthony Stewart leaves it off to Baker. Baker looks, Anthony Stewart, right side out beyond the post. Here it is to Thigpen, a pumper, it's no good. The tip is controlled by Pettis. He shoots, it's no good. Underneath, taken by Haynes, he goes up, he hits. 3 straight shots. They are now 2 of 5, but that's all right. And getting the basket was Calvin Haynes. Calvin looks like he's pumped up tonight. 4-2 early, 18 minutes to play, plus 5 seconds. Trying to carry the ball on the full court is Anthony Houston. Houston gets it over to Andre Walker. Walker at the mid-court line. Comes over to Barry Fields. Fields has it. Looks out underneath to Hanson. Here's the shot from out front by Fields. It's no good. Taken away by DeLaune Pettis, the freshman. Scoops into the full court. He zips to the left. Looks underneath. It's to Haynes. He's open. He doesn't shoot. Pettis comes back out front on the left side high to Anthony Stewart. Stewart holds up, goes around the paint to the left side. Still drives to the baseline. He'll pump a 15-footer. It's in. It's out. It's no good. Getting the rebound is Pete Hansen. St. Mary's foul call. Whistle. I believe it's on DeLaune Pettis. Tony Stigliano spotted something beneath the boards, and it's going to be on DeLaune Pettis. Tony Stigliano, an old friend of mine and a great official, along with James Burris, 2 of the best in the Southwest Conference when they're teamed together. It'll be over now to Anthony Houston. Houston picked up by Anthony Stewart at the mid-court line. Turnaround dribble. Fakes right, goes left. Leaves it off over there for Barry Fields. Under the Houston. The tip is no good by Hanson. Cleared away by Joe Baker. Anthony Stewart into the full court. Bounces off to Haynes' left side. Almost loses it at the baseline. Kicks it back out. And saving it is Tyrone Thigpen. Underneath it comes. Wide open is Haynes. He goes up. He lays it in. He's got his second basket of the night. And that's Calvin Haynes. He's got 4. And the score is 6-2. 17 minutes to play early in the first half. St. Mary's with the ball in the backcourt. They trail by 4. Barry Fields leaves it off for Anthony Houston. Houston back to Barry Fields. Now Houston with it out to my right in front of the paint. He looks, picked up by Anthony Stewart. Houston still has it. Gives it off to Hanson. Gets a pick. He turns. Comes on the right side. Douglas loses it out of bounds. Andre Walker it is losing it out of bounds, and that's a turnover. And that's 2 turnovers for the St. Mary's Rattlers. 16:39 to play. 6-2. 6-7 is the record for St. Mary's. Buddy Meyer, boy, he has a dynasty over there to Rattlerland in the snake pit. Here comes DeLaune Pettis for UTSA. Joe Baker to Haynes, a 20-footer. And it's no good. The tip is up. It's no good. Another tip is no good. There's a whistle on foul called underneath. And let's see, who's this one going to be on? This one is also on UTSA. It's on DeLaune Pettis, and that's 2. But the young Frosh is in there, by gosh, fighting under the boards. DeLaune Pettis has his second, and it's still 6-2, 16:20 to play. Into the full court. Matriculating to the left, it'll be Anthony Houston, the freshman from Milwaukee, Wisconsin for the St. Mary's Rattlers. Picked up by Anthony Stewart. Fakes right, goes left. Comes over to Andre Walker. Back out it goes to James Douglas. Douglas looks right. Comes over to the little guy, and that's Anthony Houston. Back out it goes to Andre Walker. Andre Walker drives to the left side. Base. He loses the ball, but Douglas goes up, saves it. And he misses the layup, but he's fouled. And I believe Baker got him. He could have had a 3-pointer, but it popped in and popped out. Foul is on Joe Baker. That's the 13th foul against the Roadrunners. And Baker's first, and going to the line will be the big guy, James Douglas, 6'8", 225. James Douglas, East St. Louis, misses the first one. He is only a 58% free throw shooter. That was his 25th effort. He's now 14 out of 25, and he'll get another. Here's the pump. He's got this one. 6-3 is the score. Roadrunners lead by 3. Early going. 15:58 to play first half. Stewart, Pettis, left side, goes across court to Thigpen. Leaves it off for Anthony Stewart. Anthony around the 3-point perimeter in pro ball. Bounces it on the right side to Thigpen. He fakes a shot. It's to Pettis. He drives. He goes up. He shoots. It is in. It is out. It is no good. Pete Hansen captures the carom for St. Mary's. Toss it quickly up to Houston. Houston almost loses it. He's 22 feet away. He will drive. He penetrates. It's rejected. There's going to be a goaltending call on Calvin Haynes. So give the basket to the little fellow, and that's Anthony Houston, the freshman, make the score 6-5. 15:30 to play here in the first half. St. Mary's, UTSA, it's the Roadrunner basketball going from my right to left. They lead by 1, 15:27 to go. Out to DeLaune Pettis. DeLaune Pettis left of the plane, goes over to Anthony Stewart. Stewart dribbles once, gives it off to DeLaune Pettis, fakes right, goes left back over to Stewart, a 20-footer. It is up and swish! Anthony Stewart comes down with his first basket of the evening. So Anthony makes the score 8-5. 15:12 to play here in the first half. Full court press again. Andre Walker gets it off to Houston. Houston permeates through and into Hansen. Hansen drives, and there's going to be a block foul on Calvin Haynes. Haynes is laying on his backside and looks at the official and said, "Did I do that?" Two-shot foul. Haynes gets the block. So early, the Roadrunners are going to be in trouble with fouls. That could have gone either way, I think, Tony. And at the line will be Pete Hansen. Hansen, the big fellow out of Brookfield, Wisconsin. From the field this season, or rather from the free throw line, he is a 49% free throw shooter, 28 out of 57. They don't get two. All right, it was before the shot. That's good news. Comes back out to Andre Walker. Walker says, "All right, come on, Anthony, come out and get the ball," and he does. St. Mary's controlling it to my right, underneath to Hansen. He's open, he shoots, he misses it, he tips, he misses it, he goes up, he got it. Pete Hansen, and he's fouled underneath by Calvin Haynes. Haynes gets his second. Hansen will get the basket. That makes it 8-7. He can tie the score. Don't forget now, the Roadrunners started a small lineup, small and hopefully quick. Right now, it's not paying off on the boards too well. Hansen will get a shot at the line to make it a three-point play if he connects. And he does. So Hansen has 3, and the score is now 8-8. 14:45 to play. Anthony Stewart skirts into the forecourt, flittering and fluttering to the right, leaves it off out front to DeLaune Pettis, back over to Anthony Stewart. Anthony 23 feet away, comes cross court to DeLaune Pettis. He fakes, goes back out to Anthony Stewart above the paint. Back over to DeLaune Pettis. He will drive. He goes up and shoots. It's no good. Haynes has the rebound. He goes up and lays it in off the board. Calvin Haynes, the leaper, makes it 10-8 now. So Calvin has 2 fouls, but most importantly, he's got 6 points early. 14:20 to play in the game, 10-8. Roadrunners. And let's see. It's going to be out of bounds to UTSA. Good defense. Losing the ball out was Anthony Houston. Good D by Thigpen on the defensive play in the forecourt. Roadrunner basketball to my left. They lead by 2, 10-8, 14-13 to play. Stewart, Pettis. Stewart, right side. Fakes, shoots. Yes! Anthony Stewart's warming up on the back burner. He has 4. It's 12-8. 14 minutes to play. Roadrunners by 4. They're pumped up tonight. Here comes Andre Walker, leaving it off for Anthony Houston. Houston behind his back dribble, just above our broadcast table. He looks, holds up the play, comes to the right. He still has it on the dribble, and he goes over to Barry Fields. Fields high above his head. He looks out for the big guy, James Douglas. Douglas picked up by little guy, Anthony Stewart. It's a basically 1-2-2-1 zone defense, if you can believe that, for the Roadrunners. Barry Fields out front left. He still has it on the dribble. He looks for Andre Walker. Walker underneath to Douglas. He's open. Goes up. He got it. He's fouled. The basket will count. Joe Baker took the fake and went high above and came down on his back. So that'll tie it again. And that means that the St. Mary's Rattlers can, let's see. All right, 12-10. That made it 12-10, and now he can put them to within 1. As Douglas got the field goal, he already has 3 points. Tries for a 3-point play, and he's got it. 12-11 is the score. As Joe Baker gets his second foul, no substitutions yet. Stewart for UTSA to DeLaune Pettis. Pettis zooms to the right, comes back out to Anthony Stewart, left side low, across court, comes over to Haynes, Haynes to Pettis. Underneath, wide open is Thigpen, left-handed layup. He dillied and dallied and got the 2. DeLaune Thigpen on a great pass underneath from Stewart. DeLaune makes the score, 14-11, 13 minutes and 2 seconds to play in the first half. Here is Anthony Houston, tries to force his way in, kicks it off to Stewart, lays it up, and he's fouled underneath by Calvin Haynes. I believe that's 3 on Calvin. It is 3 fouls on Calvin Haynes early. So he's in foul trouble. Calvin is playing hard. Calvin looks over the bench and says, "I'm all right," but that brings in Tyrone Harbin, out of the U.S. Air Force, 23 years old. Traveled with the Air Force basketball team, and he's in there. Calvin Haynes goes out with 3 personals, 6 points. Good hustle on the board. At the line will be James Douglas. He's already had 3 free throws. St. Mary's is now 3 out of 4 at the line. He'll get 2. The first shot is good. So he is 3 out of 4 at the line. 14-12 is the score. Roadrunners lead by 2. Douglas can bring the Rattlers to within 1. I'm Gary DeLaune. This game is brought to you in part by Photo Pronto. 1-hour service. Second shot is also good by Douglas. He is 4 out of 5. He's got 6 points, 14-13. Roadrunners by only 1 now. Stewart out front, bounces left side. Goes over to Pettis, right side. To Baker, to Pettis. DeLaune turns, looks for Harbin. Back out it comes to Stewart. Anthony turns, shoots, whistle, foul. Called on Daryl Derryberry, who had checked in moments ago, and he got the foul. 2-shot foul. Daryl Derryberry gets the foul. Good fake. Good drive by Anthony Stewart. He'll go to the line. And if there's ever anybody you want there, it's Anthony, because his free throw percentage, 22 out of 28, 78% free throw shooter for the season. He's averaging 10.7 points a game. 14-13 is the score, 12:45 to play. Here's the first one. It is no good. You don't see many bounce off for Anthony, but that one did. He'll get one more. So for the season, he is now 22 of 29. He gets one more on the 2-shot foul. Here it is. Good. So Anthony Stewart has a total of 5 points, and it's 15-13, 12:45 to play. It is now a zone press by the Roadrunners. Daryl Derryberry gets it off to Fields, comes over to Houston, to Fields, to Hanson. He loses it, saves it, and it's going to be stolen. Great play by Anthony Stewart. Looked like Sean Lafitte on the theft in New Orleans. Here it is out front. Stewart comes over to Pettis. Pettis to Stewart, to Pettis. Underneath, comes to Harbin, turns, flips, good. DeLaune Harbin has 2. 17-13, 12:15 to play. Derryberry comes over to the little guy, Anthony Houston. You've got 3 guards in there now. To Barry Fields. Fields will drive to the top of the key. He looks, turns, shoots. It's good. Barry Fields, the veteran junior, out of Wichita, Kansas. 17-15, 12 minutes to play. Anthony Stewart. To DeLaune Pettis. DeLaune comes over to Joe Baker, low post left. Comes over on the left side to Harbin, 16. No good. And Daryl Derryberry leading the fast break, 3-on-1 for the Rattlers. Comes over to, oh, what a play by Harbin! Oh, what a rejection, but they're going to give him the basket to make it 17-all. Oh, what a brilliant play as Barry Fields went in for the layup. Questionable call there, Tony. 17-17, 11:40 to play, but a great steal on the far end. Here it is, out front. Back over to Pettis. It's no good. Now they're missing, and it's again a fast break. Here comes Anthony Houston holding up for St. Mary's. They're controlling the boards now with their bigger men inside. Stewart picks him up. Goes over to Barry Fields. Fields high above his head is tied at 17-all. Rattlers can go in front should they score. Left side low to Houston, to Fields. He fakes. Underneath to Hanson. He has it blocked away. There's a whistle and a foul on Tyrone Thigpen. They have to get some size in there. Here comes Gary Payne for Anthony Stewart, who has really played hard and is really going out a little tired right now. 17-17, but Pete Hanson will go to the line again. He's already had 1 of 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 free throws coming up now for St. Mary's. Roadrunners have 2. 2 shots, says James Burris. Pete Hanson will go to the line. Here's the first popper. It's a high arching shot. It's no good. He'll get another. 17-all, 11:10 to play. No problem with the shot clock in this one. It's been run and gun and have fun affair. 11:10 to play, almost halfway through the first half. Roger Bearden will come in momentarily. And the second one is no good, and getting a rebound is Tyrone Thigpen. So Pete Hanson missed them both, still tied at 17. DeLaune Pettis, right. Leaves it out front for Gary Payne. Spec for Gary Payne. Gary has it on the right side, 25 feet away. It up. Now leaves it off for DeLaune Pettis. He looks, leaves it back for Gary Payne. Gary dribbles once, leaves it back for Pettis. Pettis dribbles. Underneath it goes to Harbin. Turns, shoots, yes. Tyrone Harbin working the low post. He has 4, 19-17. Roadrunners by 2, playing one of their best games of the year early. St. Mary's also looking good. Here it is to Anthony Houston. Houston, Fields, Derryberry, the 3 guards set up for Coach Buddy Meyer. Here's a whistle and a cheap, ridiculous foul by Tyrone Harbin, and Douglas will go to the line probably. Roger Durden comes in, and also coming in for St. Mary's is Mark Miller. Miller comes out for James Douglas. So is that going to be shooting? Yeah, that's a 1-and-1, so Douglas will have to stay in there. Mark Miller can't come in until Douglas shoots his 1-and-1. 19-17 is the score, 10:33 to play in the ball game. Exciting ball game here at the Hemisphere Arena. 4,000 to 5,000 on hand for this one. Hoopla, hurrah, hoops. 19-17. Don Eddy says something about a timeout. TV was supposed to have had a timeout. They didn't do it. So at 10:33 to play, it's still 19-17. James Douglas at the line. He's already had 1 of 5. He misses this one. Rather, he was 4 of 5. Now he's 4 of 6. So Douglas missed it. 19-17. Getting a rebound is Harbin. Leaves it off for Payne. Roadrunner basketball. Pettis. Tyrone Thigpen. Tyrone looks, dribbles once, takes a 20. All way off the mark. Air ball. Whistle and now we got a TV timeout, I believe, or is it? What is the whistle, James? TV timeout. And with 10:19 to play in the first half, our score: UTSA 19, St. Mary's 17. We return in 60. DeLaune back at courtside. This game is brought to you in part by Callison's. I'm wearing a Western shirt from Callison's. Go by and talk to Pete, either the downtown store on South Florida or out on Southwest Military across from Sears. Pete Callison, in business for a long time in San Antonio. Gary Highland has checked in the ball game for UTSA, and he'll go at a wing guard. There is such a thing. It'll be a semi-zone press now. No, I'm sorry, it's UTSA basketball. Well, they gave it to the Birds. I didn't realize that. It is to Harbin. There's a whistle and a foul underneath. Pushing is called on St. Mary's. And it's going to be called on Anthony Houston. That will not yet be a shooting situation because that's only the second team foul. Here are the field goal percentages. UTSA hitting 52%, 9 out of 17. Ball into Haynes. Here's to Harbin. He fakes. He doesn't shoot. Cross court it goes to Highland. Gary shovels it out to Gary Payne. Comes over to Harbin, a 12-footer from the corner. It's no good, and it's going to go into the hands of Mark Miller, who checked in for James Douglas. Here comes Daryl Derryberry out of San Marcos. Quickly shovels it off to Houston, and he kicks, and he has an offensive foul. And Anthony Houston, 62% field goal shooting for St. Mary's. Free throws, they're 62% free throws, 5 of 8. From the field, 46%. UTSA 1 of 2. 8 rebounds for the Birds, 5 for St. Mary's. And let's see, coming into the ball game, coming back in is Andre Walker. And he's in for Anthony Houston. Gary Payne for UTSA. 9:54 to go. Birds lead by 2. 19-17. Highland comes out to DeLaune Pettis. Underneath it goes to Durden. He turns. He pumps. Off the board. It's no good. They fight for the rebound. Coming down with it is Barry Fields. Fields to Derryberry. Derryberry dribbles, dives, and decides to come back out and set it up. Comes over on the right side to Barry Fields to Pete Hansen way out front. He's gone all the way. Hansen looks, dribbles. Tries to go up and lays it off. And a beautiful shot. And the whistle and a foul is called on Harbin. And the basket will count as Andre Walker gets it. That's one of those silly fouls again. Go ahead and let him have the basket when he's got position on you. That can put the Rattlers in front. It's 19-all. This would be, let's see, how many minutes have the Roadrunners led? They've led almost the whole first half. Anthony Stewart will check back in, and he comes in for, let's see, DeLaune Pettis. Andre Walker has 4, can make it 5, and it could put the Snakes up by 1 at 2019. He'll go to the line, Andre Walker, for the season. Here's the shot, and he's got it. So he has 5 points. We were going to tell you that for the season, he's a 51% free throw shooter, 81% free throw shooter. And that's why he made a 5-point production out of the night for this one. Payne, Harbin, UTSA, now trails by 1, 20-19. Now it goes to Payne. Payne, cross court, goes over to Highland, a 20-footer. No good. Hansen has the rebound for St. Mary's. Derryberry into the full court. Scoots, shoots, and he drives forward, and there's going to be a foul call on Gary Highland. blocking. Derryberry will go to the line. Only 3 team fouls on St. Mary's, and everything UTSA fouls. It'll be a 1-and-1 for St. Mary's. Derryberry goes to the line 1-and-1. The Rattlers lead 20-19. Roadrunners started off with a zip and a bang, but now they've slowed down. First shot is good by Darryl Derryberry. His dad is his coach at San Marcos when he played there. He's a 5'10", 175-pound sophomore. Fine little scooter guard. 21-19, Rattlers by 2. They can go by 3 with 9:01 to play, and they do. Derryberry has his first 2 of the night. 3-point lead by the Snakes, their biggest of the night. Payne, Harbin, Walker, Durden, and Highland. Gary Highland looks underneath for Durden. Durden is fouled, I think, by Mark Miller. Or is it on Andre Walker? Tim Faulkner coming in. Foul is called on Mark Miller, his first. Coming out of the ballgame is Durden. Coming in is Tim Faulkner for the first time. Roadrunner basketball. One of the 4th team foul against the Rattlers. 8:53 to play. Stewart gets it off to Gary Payne. Gary, cross court it goes to Gary Highland. Gary will dribble once, bounces it under Harbin. Double teamed, he shoots and hits. He makes the score 22-21 as Harbin has his 3rd field goal of the night. He has 6 points. 9:37 to go. The Snakes by 1. Derryberry lays it off for Barry Fields under to Hanson. Hanson goes up. Alley-oop. It's no good. Mark Miller puts it on the floor. He goes up. It's no good. And getting the rebound is Tyrone Harbin. Birds can go up now. Here they go to the forecourt to my left. Gary Payne, left-handed dribble. Fakes left, goes right to Anthony Stewart to Gary Payne. He'll take a 16. Yes! In a nip and tuck affair, Gary Payne puts it in. So Gary has 2. It's 23-22. Birds back by 1. Snakes another forecourt. Barry Fields from Derryberry. St. Mary's Mark Miller has the top of the paint. Goes over to Derryberry. Derryberry comes back out to Andre Walker. He turns, he shoots. It's no good. Into the hands of Gary Payne. Fast break. It's a 3-on-3. Gary will hold up on the right side, 35 feet away. Right-handed dribble, left. Now goes on the left side to Anthony Stewart. Anthony back out to Gary Payne. Gary back to Anthony Stewart. 20-footer from the corner. Yes. Oh, my. He stepped on the gas and shifted into overdrive with that long basket. And for Anthony Stewart, that's his 7th point. It's 25-22. They've scored 5 points in a hurry. 7:30 to play first half. Derryberry out front. Shovels it on the left side to Andre Walker. Walker looks for Miller. Walker still has it on the dribble. Goes to the left side to Derryberry. To Mark Miller underneath. He can't go. He's triple teamed. Back out it goes to Derryberry. Derryberry on the shot clock. We've got 20 seconds. Comes on the right side to Barry Fields. To Mark Miller for St. Mary's. Right side to Derryberry. He fakes a shot. And he goes up and he's fouled by Anthony Stewart. Good fake by Derryberry. Had no place to go, so he just pumped it up and got the foul. Coming into the ball game for the first time, Todd Gandy, replacing Pete Hansen. Gandy 6'6", 220. He's a senior out of Wichita, Kansas. The weak shocker connection here. 25-22, but Derryberry, who already has 2 of 2 at the line, will go again. And for the season, Darryl is a 71% free throw shooter. So you don't want him there if you can keep him out of it. He is 3 of 3 at the charity stripe, gets 1 more to make the score 25-23. Tony Stigliano hands him the ball and says, you'd get 1 more. Derryberry, a left-handed pumper. It's up, and it is also... No, it's no good. Faulkner has the rebound. It went in and popped out of there. Into the forecourt, it's Anthony Stewart to Gary Payne. 7 minutes to play, 25-23. Exciting first half. Gary Highland out front left. He looks, comes on the left side to Anthony Stewart, picked up by Barry Fields. Anthony, right side, way out front to Highland. To Payne. Payne will drive baseline. He can't go anyplace. Back to Highland. Gary back to Payne in the low corner. He shoots from the corner. He hits, but wait a minute. Foul is called first on Todd Gandy. Time is called as we have a 6:45 showing on the clock. 25-23. Foul is on Todd Gandy. Basket not counting. We'll be back in 60. In his 7th season at St. Mary's, Buddy Meyer 141-62. Last year they were 22-7, 9-1 in the conference, ranked 4th in the NAIA. 6 straight big state titles, lost 3 leading scores from last year. Ken Cook scored 36 points in this game at the arena last year. Series is tied 1-1. Assistant coach is Zeleznak. Trainer is David Correa. It'll be Roadrunner basketball. Quickly into Tim Faulkner, and Tim leaves it off of Gary Payne on the right side. Now comes out to Gary Highland. Gary and Gary. Highland goes to Gary Payne on the right side for the Roadrunners. He's hit 2 long ones, but the last one didn't count. Here's Anthony Stewart. He goes up and it's thrown away, and let's see. There's a dive for it. And Andre Walker. And it's stolen back in the backcourt by Highland. Gary Payne. Long pass over to Anthony Stewart. Anthony in the corner. Fakes, can't go. Nip and tuck, nobody wanted the hot potato. 25-23, 6:15 to play. Roadrunners by 2. Highland bouncing it to Faulkner. He turns and he's fouled, and I think getting him on the hand is Todd Gandy, and that's his 2nd in a row. So Todd Gandy wasn't too handy with that particular foul. That'll send Tim Faulkner to the line, shooting 2, and he's an 84% free throw shooter. James Douglas comes back in for Todd Gandy. 11 of 13 for Tim Faulkner. He will go to the line shooting 2. Takes his time. Here's the sign and pump. Good. Field goal 7 of 17 for St. Mary's, 41%. Roadrunners 12 of 23, 52%. Boy, that's a switch. Rebounds 11 for the Birds, and Faulkner's 2nd shot is good. So Tim gets his first 2 points of the night as the big fella makes the score. 27-23, 6:07 to go in the first half. Faulkner has 2 points. Quickly out to Barry Fields. He pumps one way out front. It's no good. Getting a rebound is Gary Highland. He loses it, and he blocks the shot. Mark Miller falls down. Traveling is called on Mark Miller. Highland lost the ball and went up and blocked the shot. So Gary redeemed himself. Redemption with exemption on that play. 5:54 to play, 27-23 at the Hemisphere Arena. I'm Gary DeLaune, your Mike Side host. Here it is, Gary Payne to Gary Highland. For UTSA, they lead by 4. Highland tries to drive right, can't. Anthony Stewart leaves it out for Gary Payne. In the corner goes to Highland. He takes one. He hits. Gary Highland pumps one from 18. And that's 29-23, the longest Roadrunner lead of the night. 5:30 to play here in the first half. Derry Berry gets a pick out front. Fakes left, goes right, still has it on the dribble. Picked up by Gary Payne. Derry Berry to Barry Fields. Fields looks for James Douglas, the big 6'8 guy. Turnaround dribble. Fields goes left. Left side low. Comes out to Daryl Derry Berry. We got, on the shot clock, we got 20 seconds. Right side to Andre Walker. Walker leaves it off for James Douglas. Douglas has it knocked out of bounds by Gary Payne. Good defense by Gary. Coming into the ball game is Roger Durden, and he comes in for Tyrone Harbin. So Harbin comes in, as he is tired youngster too. And let's see, we got 15 seconds on the shot clock. St. Mary's ball to my right. Derry Berry will inbound it. He is the real estate man. He's got a lot for sale. Gives it off to Mark Miller. Derry Berry gets a pick around the horn. Fakes underneath to Douglas. He has it blocked by Durden. He gets it back. He's fouled underneath by Gary Highland. But they hustled and got it. Saved the basket. Foul is called on Gary Highland. 29-23 is the score. Check it. It was not Gary Highland. It was on Tim Faulkner and not Gary Highland. James Douglas at the line again. Well, he's been there a bunch already. First shot is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He is now 5 out of 7. This is 8th try. 29-24. 5-point lead. Here's the shot. Good. 6 out of 8 for James Douglas. 29-25. Roadrunners by 4. 4:54 to go. Now straggling into the right side. 4-quarter across the 10-second line is Gary Payne. Left-handed pass to Anthony Stewart. Anthony still has it. Looks underneath for Durden. Back to Anthony. Out it goes on the right side over to Highland. Highland looks and can't give it to anybody, so he dribbles once, twice. He drives, he shoots. It's no good. And they fight for the rebound. It's picked away by Barry Fields. St. Mary's on a fast break. He holds up out front. He almost loses it on the dribble. He still has it. He tries to go under, and he kicks it off for Douglas. There's a whistle and a foul, and a block is going to be called underneath by Roger Durden. I think James Burris may have called that with anticipation because Durden was set. But he gets the foul anyway. Blocking is called, and at the line is Greg Fields, so I'll tell you. 8, they've got a bunch of free throws. I'll have to count them up in a moment. Fields shooting, he's got this one. That's his first effort at the line tonight. 13, I believe, or maybe, no, 15 unofficially for the first half. Here's the second one. Good. Roadrunners have 2. 29-27. Birds lead by 2. 4:25 to play in the first half. Quickly comes over to Durden. Durden dribbles with it. He looks and leaves it off for Gary Payne. He crosses the 10-second line, almost over back, and it is over back. And so a bad pass by Payne to Stewart, and that may cost him a tie in the ball game. 29-27, 4:23 to play. Derry Berry into the full court. He infields right guard. Pete Hansen is back in there now. We got James Douglas. Coming back in will be Joe Baker. Berry fields high above his head. Has it almost stolen by Durden. Douglas to Derry Berry. He's open. He shoots. It's good. You can't leave anybody wide open like that. He's got 5. It's tied 29-all. 4:03 to play. Gary Payne leaves it off for Anthony Stewart. Back to Gary Payne. Here comes Gary. And let's see. Almost fouled in the backcourt into the forecourt. Crosses the 10-second line. Gets by. Comes on the left side to Anthony Stewart. He fakes. He drives underneath to Durden. He goes up, and he's hammered, and there's going to be a jump ball. Foul is called. One referee called foul, one called jump ball. Joe Baker checks in for Gary Highland. Who was the foul on it? It's on Hansen. That's his first. So that will be a 2-shot foul. Roger Durden at the line. For the season, Roger hadn't been there very many times. He's 14 out of 15, 93% free throw shooter, and he gets his first 2 tonight. 2-shot foul. First one is no good. Spins in, spins out. 29-all, 3:49 to play. Roadrunner basketball brought to you in part by Advantage Rent-A-Car, now serving all Texas major cities, or all major Texas cities. Second shot is good. He almost missed that one. So Roger Durden has his first point of the night. It's 30-29 again. 3:49 to go. We got a timeout. 3:49. 30-29 Roadrunners by 1 back at 60. They're great athletic abilities. As we got St. Mary's 6 and 7, Roadrunners 2 and 12, but anything can happen in this rivalry, and probably will. Derry Berry's okay. He's back in there, and he takes over the field command. Looking down court. 34-33, the minute 35 to go. Roadrunners by 1. Derry Berry has it knocked away into the hands of Payne. Gary Payne 2-on-1. Holds it up. It's to Stewart. Anthony leaves it out front. Looks for Faulkner, back to Anthony Stewart. And Anthony, with a minute 22 to go, gives it off to Gary Payne. Good steal in the backcourt. Comes over to Baker, to Payne. Gary takes another one. It's good! The little left-hander is going wild out there tonight. Gary Payne has 6. 3 from long range, 36-33. It's a 3-point lead by the Birds with a minute 3 to go. Derry Berry for St. Mary's into the full court. Comes over to Mark Miller. Miller, right side. Comes over to Houston, to Miller, to Derry Berry. He looks low. Comes back out in the corner of the field. He's open. He shoots. It's no good. And into the hands of Harbin. Harbin looks and gives it off to Gary Payne. We got 45 seconds. This is the final 45 seconds of the half. Payne to Stewart, and they will take their time. And here comes Gary Payne with a very deliberate dribble. Comes over to Baker, back to Payne. They will wait till the last shot. 30 seconds on the clock. Gary Payne says, let's just go for 1. Goes over to Anthony Stewart, to Payne. Gary dribbles once, back to Stewart, back to Gary Payne. 20 seconds on the clock. It goes to Harbin. Harbin looks left, goes over to Baker. Baker comes back out to Payne. 36-33, 14 seconds on the clock. Anthony Stewart fakes, comes back over to Payne. Payne will drive underneath. Wide open is Baker. He misses the layup. They dive for it. They run. They scramble. They jamble. And it's going to be jump ball. 2 seconds on the clock. Jump ball as Baker dives for it, and so did Hansen in the alternate possession. It goes to St. Mary's. They've got 2 seconds to do something with it. And 2 seconds left on the clock. 36-33, Roadrunners by 3. This has been a dandy at the arena. Hope you've enjoyed it on KRNN, brought to you in part by Light Beer from Miller. Great takes, less filling. 2 seconds to go in the half. I'm Gary DeLaune. Here's a long pass down court, and it's to Hansen. He shoots. No good. And that's the half. Our score at the half, UTSA 36, St. Mary's 33. We return in 2 minutes.
Their supporters are obviously enthusiastic, and I think this kind of intensity and interest in basketball is good for the city. It helps build a base of basketball support.
I'll tell you what, Henry, if these two teams had played with this much intensity and this well as they had the first half, they'd have a lot better records. This is the best first half the Roadrunners have played.
You're right. I've been watching the game, and they are playing with intensity. But I tell you, I had a special treat tonight, and that is I had the opportunity to sit next to Robert Reed,
yes,
who is being honored right now, being retired tonight by St. Mary's for the excellent record-breaking work that he did as a St. Mary's Rattler. He's one of the few Rattlers ever to make it into the pros, and certainly the only one to make it with the distinction that he has, playing with the Houston Rockets. Great guy, and a nice fellow. I just sat with him tonight, just really a class guy. I know what the teams and the different stuff that I know the sports.
To do. Nice short math. It will be Roadrunner basketball. Cunningham, McCoy, Haynes, Gervin, and Thornton. That's the starting five here in the second half. Wallace has started in the first 20 minutes. Thornton, Dingle, Barnard, Anderson, and Duryea, the Pan American. McCoy, left side low. Supposedly faded into the horizon. Maybe. But is there a chance somewhere down the line of an NFL team?
I pray, I wish, I dream. I want to persuade the people in San Antonio that one of these days we're just going to have to go to the stadium, and then we're going to have to persuade the NFL to put a team in here. Now, the thing that is interesting right this minute is that there's talk about settling this suit between the USFL and the NFL. And there's some talk about settling that suit in such a way that several USFL teams could actually enter the league. I've heard as many as 6. And if it's 6, the conventional wisdom is the New York team goes, New Jersey, and Phoenix and Baltimore go, and possibly the Oakland franchise, because they need to make up for that. And then after that, there's a whole host of other cities that want it, but San Antonio could be in the running for out years. I think we've got to play every possible angle. I'm committed to NFL football for San Antonio down the road. And while it may take 10 or 15 years for it, I hope not. I want to do that. And I just tell you, Gary, I would give my IT for that.
You wouldn't give another year in office for it, though.
Right. I just might. I feel so strongly about what that means for San Antonio in the long run, but it's one of those things that is in my list of goals that I'm in this job for. And that's what I'm here to accomplish. And if it's accomplished, I don't need to stay in the job.
Well, you've done a great job so far, I think, and I know you're a great sports fan, and that's a credit to San Antonio and all of us who are sports enthusiasts and in the broadcast media. We appreciate your efforts in many ways.
I'm just so pleased. For example, this arena reverberates several nights a week with the Spurs. Thank goodness the Spurs are here. But down the road, I think San Antonio is growing, and it's the kind of community that can support Major League Sports. We've got to keep working at it. We will. We'll be there.
Are you listening, Tommy Turner? Because he could be here one person that could do
Tom
it.
Turner,
Red McComb,
D.K. Johnson, Neil Rose putting together a group. There's any number of possibilities in these big sports.
We're talking with His Honor, Mayor Henry Cisneros, and we'll return. Reminding you, at halftime is 36 Roadrunners, 33 Rattlers. We'll return in 2. Who are you sitting with up there?
Robert Reed.
With Derryberry, Miller, Douglas, Hanson, and Barry Fields for St. Mary's. The Roadrunner 5 is not yet exited from the huddle around Bonetti. Calvin Haynes checks back in. It'll be Haynes, Harbin, Pettis, Baker, and Stewart. So those are your fighting fives in this third round of the Mayor's Challenge Cup. Ready to go. Roadrunners going now from my left to right, and on the alternate possession, it's their ball. They lead by 3. They have not gone into their mental lethargies tonight. Let's see if they do in the second half. Hopefully they won't. Phil Baker to Pettis. Pettis comes over to Anthony Stewart. Stewart to Pettis. Pettis goes around the horn to the left. Comes clear across court to Stewart. He's open but doesn't take the shot. It's to Joe Baker. Baker to Harbin. He's fouled underneath by Pete Hansen. Hansen grabbed him and hung on for dear life. Harbin took the shot, but it was too late. He's already been fouled. On Hansen, I think that's his second. First team foul, and it'll be Anthony Stewart inbounding it. Anthony looks and gets it over, and it's going to be almost stolen. Haynes saves it. Pettis to Baker. Right side to Stewart, a 20-footer. No good, and Stewart follows his own rebound. Has it on the capture. Now he tries to take another shot, but decides not to. To Pettis. Pettis looks underneath. It comes to Harbin. Back to Pettis. Comes over to Stewart. To Harbin. Harbin looks and dribbles once. too fast break. Here comes Darrell. He will drive. Lays it up and in. Great steal by Derryberry. He took it all the way down for his 9th point. Roadrunners got sloppy on offense. Stewart holds up out front to Pettis. Pettis goes over to Harbin. Harbin swings it on the left side to Stewart. Stewart to Baker. Roadrunner basketball, 36-35 score. Roadrunners by 1. Baker. It's to Haynes. 16-footer. Off the board, it's no good. And getting a rebound underneath is Pete Hansen. That's his 9th capture of the carry. Hansen, the leading rebounder, gives it off to Derryberry. 20th rebound compared to 14. And now the Snakes go in front, 36-35. Great first half for the Roadrunners. Hansen has it. Lays it back out to James Douglas to Barry Fields. He decides to take a shot and hits from out front. Barry Fields has 10, and it's 37-36. As quickly, they score 5 unanswered points, 4 unanswered points. And now the Snakes lead by 1, 37-36. Here's Joe Baker. Baker dribbles it out to Pettis. He loses it, comes down with it anyway. Here's Anthony Stewart. And Baker falls down. Here's Haynes. He will go up and try to shoot it. What a play by Calvin Haynes. He tried to find the parking space along Dunk Avenue, but he backed it off the board anyway. And he's got a 38-37 score. And for Calvin Haynes, that was his 8th point of the night. And now it's 38-37. Birds by 1 over the Snakes. Right side to Douglas. Douglas back to Hansen. Hansen swings it left side to Derryberry, and it's kicked out by Tyrone Harbin. It'll go down court. Baker will bring it back and give it to Tony Stigliano. It'll be St. Mary's basketball on the kick. They get a new 45. James Burris will give it to the Snakes under their own board, and Pete Hansen will be the inbounder. He's the passer, and who's going to be the passee? Comes over to James Douglas. Douglas leaves it off for Barry Fields. Fields for St. Mary's gives it off to Darrell Derryberry. Derryberry holds up out front right, picked up by Stewart. Comes over to Greg Fields. Fields, left side, dribbles around the horn, gets a pick, and has it almost stolen by Harbin. Here's Fields. He can't shoot. Now he does, and he misses it. And here's the tip by Miller. It's no good. Hansen gets the rebound. Finally coming down with it is Joe Baker. Got position underneath. 3 straight shots. They missed them all. Anthony Stewart out front right for the Roadrunners. Going to my right. Haynes in the corner but doesn't shoot. Dribbles once, twice. He looks, goes back to Baker. Baker to Haynes. Haynes dribbles once. Cross court it goes to Stewart, 20-footer. Yes. Anthony Stewart warming up. He has 11. 40-37. Roadrunners have the 3-point margin again. 17:05 to play in the ball game. Derryberry into the forecourt. Right, now left. Comes over to Barry Fields. Fields looks. Turnaround dribble. Has it out front. Picked up. Still has it on the dribble. Fancy Dan dribbling. Comes back over to Douglas. Gets a pick. It comes over to Fields. Fields all the way to the baseline left. He looks good defense by the Roadrunners. DeLaune Pettis comes over to Hansen. Douglas has it rejected. There's a whistle and a foul. Could be called on Haynes. Let's see who's going to be on. It's on Harbin. 2-shot foul. DeLaune gets his first foul of the night. 40-37, and at the line will be James Douglas. My goodness gracious, it's a lot of free throws. He has 8 free throws. This will be his 9th and 10th efforts. Roadrunners not getting many shots, but of course they haven't been going inside too much, but shooting from the perimeter. 2 shots for Douglas. First one is no good. He'll get another. 40-37, 16:46 to go. Roadrunners lead by 3. Perhaps their most intense game of the season so far. James Douglas, 6'8", 225, will be at the line again. He shoots again. He misses again. This time Harbin has the rebound. Quickly over to Anthony Stewart. Roadrunners into the forecourt. Anthony out front beyond the perimeter. Goes over to Haynes. Comes on the right side to Pettis. DeLaune looks, dribbles, turns, gets a pick, doesn't go. It's to Harbin. He has it almost stolen. There's a whistle and a foul called on Fields. Barry Fields gets his first. Check it. It wasn't on Fields, was it? Let's see. Yeah, it is too. I was correct. Stewart. Long pass out to Harbin. Tyrone. Looks high. Goes across court to Anthony Stewart. He's open but doesn't take the shot. Decides to dribble instead. Comes with the right hand. Goes back left to Baker. And to Harbin off his head, off the backboard. Baker saves it. Miraculously. It's to Harbin. He shoots. It's no good. There's a whistle. A travel apparently called on the Roadrunners. Turnover time. That's only their 4th turnover. They only had 3 the first half. 37-40 is the score. Roadrunners by 3. 16-10 to play in the game. It's Derryberry out front. Now goes left to Miller. Miller back out to Pete Hansen. Hansen comes to Derryberry. Derryberry high above his head. Gets it back out to Fields underneath. And let's see. Hansen, a reverse layup. Miller goes up and tips it in. Mark Miller gets the basket, and that's his first from the night. Make it 40-39. 15:50 to play in the ball game. Anthony Stewart, right side to Joe Baker. Back out to Stewart. Left side to Harbin, underneath. Harbin kicks it back out to Haynes. He's open. He will shoot. It is good. Calvin Haynes, shooting better than he has all season, has 10. 42-39, 15:35 to play in the game. I'm Gary DeLaune. Hope you enjoy it on KRNN. Derryberry to Hanson. Hanson turns. Picked up by Joe Baker. Comes over to Fields. Fields looks underneath for Douglas. Douglas loses it. Hanson saves it. He goes up. He misses it. And here's the tip. Controlled by Haynes. Haynes leaves it on for Stewart. Quickly over to Baker. Over to DeLaune Pettis. He misses the dunk. Stewart goes up. He hits. Stewart gets his 13th point to make it 44-39. DeLaune Pettis missed the dunk. Stewart was there to follow. Derryberry into the forecourt for St. Mary's. Now the Rattlers trail by 5. It's to Fields. Fields to Douglas. Douglas is a big kid. Gives it off to Pete Hansen, another giant. Douglas goes on the right side to Derryberry, the little squirt. Comes back over to Mark Miller. Miller drives with the left-handed dribble, holds up. He looks, gives it off to Derryberry. He drives, he can't get him. Good defense out front by Anthony Stewart. On the shot clock, you've got 19 seconds. Derryberry goes over to Fields to James Douglas. Douglas, guarded by Harvin. Goes over to Derryberry. You got 11 seconds on the clock. Cross court goes over to Douglas. He loses it to Harvin. And here comes to Harvin. And we've got, let's see, it's going to go out of bounds. We got a timeout call officially. Score 44-39 Roadrunners by 5. 14:30 to play. Back in 60. UTSA is not the same team tonight that it has been the last 8 games when it's lost 8 in a row. They played with intensity. They played with poise. They played with good shooting. This is not the same team that we've been watching the last 2 months. Where have they been? Maybe they need 5,000 every home game. Here it is to Payne. Payne into the forecourt. He looks, goes over to Joe Baker. Back to Gary Payne. Payne looks for Faulkner. Comes around on the dribble on the right side. Leaves it off for Anthony Stewart. Stewart gives it off to Gary Payne. Over to Joe Baker. Joe comes over to Tim Faulkner. Tim goes and has a knock out of bounds by Andre Walker. He'll go to UTSA with 26 seconds on the shot clock. Almost again, a nervous pass. And all 4 coaches for UTSA looking at it pensively. Here it comes to Haynes. Haynes dribbles, fakes, shoots. Good. Calvin, where has he been? 14 points for Calvin. 50-43. Haynes. And coming into the front court is Anthony Houston. As the Rattlers trail by 7. 11:37 to play. Comes over to Mark Miller. Miller picked up by Haynes. Burns gives it off to Gandy. Gandy gives it to Douglas to Gandy. To Houston. Houston dribbles on the left side to Miller. Miller underneath to Douglas. Rejected by Faulkner. Here it is to Houston. He goes up. He shoots. It's no good. And getting the rebound is St. Mary's again. And here it is to Miller. He's got it. He fought for it and controlled the board, and Miller has his 4th point of the night. 50-45, 11:10 to play. Tyrone Harbin will check back in momentarily for the Birds. Cross court comes over to Gary Payne. Gary takes that little left-handed jumper. It's no good. Haynes goes up. He shoots. He hits. He got another one. Calvin Haynes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 16 for the night, 10 and a half. 52-45, 10:50 to play in the game. Calvin Haynes has been single-handedly making it a one-man gang. Here it is, timeout call for the Rattlers. Our score, 52-45, 7-point lead for the Birds. 10:50 to play. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Official plate attendance tonight, 3,223 with about 300 or 400 freebies, so you got about 3,500 people in here screaming their lungs out for their respective schools. So the Mayor's Challenge Cup 3rd round, and that's our attendance, 3,500. So we've got Anthony Houston taking the inbound pass from Andre Walker. St. Mary's controlling it. They trail by 7. 10:40 to play in the game. Mark Miller, he looks, dribbles once, goes to the right side. It's to James. Now it's to Andre Walker, and he's got it. So Walker hits one long range from the corner. I held up momentarily because my view was blocked, but he has 7 points. Now it's 52-47. 5-point lead for the Birds. We've got 10:20 to play in the game. Gary Payne in the forecourt. Sets up the play, picked up by Andre Walker. Way out front. Gary, turn around, dribble. He looks, leaves it off for Anthony Stewart. Anthony dribbles, comes on the right side to Haynes. Haynes with 16 points. Calvin gives it off to Joe Baker. Back to Calvin Haynes. He turns, he shoots. It's no good. And here's the tip. Controlled by Baker. Baker loses it. And St. Mary's on the fast break. It's to Anthony Houston. He goes up. It's a whistle on the foul. Called on Anthony Stewart out front. On Anthony, that's his first. only the second team foul against the Birds. Mark Miller to Andre Walker. He's open. He shoots. It's no good. And the tip they should have been offensive goaltending on that play, but it went in. As Mark Miller gets his second in a row, and he has now 6 points all in the half. It's 52-49 again. Roadrunners, here it is to Harbin. He turns, he shoots, he hits. So it's nip and tuck back and forth, 8 points for Harbin, 54-49. Roadrunners by 5 again. It's to Anthony Houston. Houston, very deliberately venturing into the forecourt. Goes over to Andre Walker. Walker back over to Gandy. Gandy to Houston. He popped in the corner. It's no good. Harbin has the rebound. He looks and decides not to throw. He almost went long on Bob Kuzny. Decided to hold up and run him Danny White to Tony Hill. He's done that. Here it is to Gary Payne. Kicks it off to Baker. To Payne. He goes out and sets it up again with 9:05 to play in the game. Timeout called by the Roadrunners. 9:05 to play in the contest. Our score, Roadrunners 54, St. Mary's 49, back in 60. Stewart, Harbin, Haynes, and Payne in now for UTSA. Anthony Houston to Fields. Back out it goes to Hansen. Has it knocked away by Harbin, but Hansen saves it. Comes back over to Houston. Houston, left side to Fields. Fields looks underneath. Here it is to Houston. Gets a pick from Hansen. Goes all the way to the right side. He looks, gets it off to Derryberry in the corner. He shoots. It's no good. Getting a rebound is Gary Payne. And let's see, Derryberry steals it, but back to Payne. And now it comes over to Haynes, and Anthony Stewart has it with 5:25 to play in the game. Roadrunners by 3. Anthony Stewart says, go on through, as he tells Gary Payne. So here comes Anthony, picked up by Anthony Houston out front. Right side to Payne. Payne picked up by Derryberry. Here's Gary, driving foul by Derryberry. And that will send Gary Payne to the line. Derryberry's second shot. Darryl Derryberry, a 5'10", 175-pound sophomore, 9 points for the night. Going to the line, Gary Payne is 5 of 8 for the season, 62%. He gets 2. For tonight, he's played one of his best games of the season. He has 6 points. 2 at the line. His first one is good. It's 57-53, 5:14 to play. One more for Gary Payne. Takes his time, and here's the shot. It's good. So Gary has 8, and it's 58-53, 5:10 to play in the ball game. Anthony Houston for St. Mary's into the forecourt as he detonates to the right. Still has it on the dribble. And there's a whistle on a foul called. It's on 4. Anthony Stewart holding. That's his second. That's the second team foul, or is it the third? Anything is 1-1 from here on for UTSA. For St. Mary's, that's only the third for UTSA. Houston will inbound it, gets it off to Derryberry. Leaves it back for Anthony Houston. 5-point lead with 5 minutes to play in the game. Houston goes over to Greg Fields. Fields, back out it goes to Pete Hansen. Picked up by Harbin, stolen by DeLaune Harbin, and fouled by Hansen. Harbin steals it, and Hansen gets the foul. Great play by DeLaune Harbin. Made the steal on Hansen, and on Pete Hansen, that's his 4th. And we've got 4:54 to play, and at the line will be DeLaune Harbin. For the season, DeLaune Harbin has 7 of 11, 63%. He will get 1-1. If he hits the first, it will help the cause. St. Mary's, UTSA. St. Mary's a long-time perennial basketball power. Here's Tyrone. The side, the push, the good, and the evil, and the ugly. All right here. 59-53, and now the Roadrunners can go up by 7 again. Harbin will try to pump it in one more time. Game is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola. Second shot is no good. Getting a rebound is Hansen. Boy, he has a passel of boards. 59-53, 4:45 to play in the ball game. Anthony Houston into the forecourt, picked up by DeLaune Pettis out front. Houston still has it on the dribble. Goes around the horn to the left side base. Hansen way out front. Payne picks him up. Underneath, knocked away by Harbin and out of bounds. It'll be St. Mary's basketball, and that brings Buddy Myers to his feet, coaching his team to play better offensively. Hansen will inbound it. 4:33 to play, 6-point lead for the Birds. Hansen to Fields. Fields to Houston. Houston high above his head. Comes over to Fields. Fields looks, comes out front to Mark Miller. Miller dribbles once, goes back out to Fields. Fields looks for Derryberry. Instead gives it to Hansen. Hansen will try to drive in. He is charging, and that's 5 for Hansen. And Harbin was standing there. And let's see, that's 5 on Hansen. Pete Hansen will foul out. Boy, is that a tough luck for him on the boards. goes out with 5 points. But let's see, I think he's got about 16 boards if Jim can count them up for us. 14 rebounds, 5 points for Pete Hansen. And it'll be 1-1 for Calvin Haynes. Roadrunners lead by 6. 4:18 to play. They could go up by 8. Mark Miller, Anthony Houston, Derryberry, Fields, and now James Douglas in for St. Mary's. Calvin Haynes, Anthony Stewart, Gary Payne, DeLaune Pettis, and Tyrone Hartman for the Roadrunners. At the line is Calvin Haynes. He gets 1 and 1. The first. Yeah. It's good. He will get another. His last one was an air ball. He made sure this one wasn't. Calvin Haynes. 19 points unofficially. 60-53. His second shot. Good. Calvin Haynes making 61-53. 4:18 to play. And let's see. It's going to be St. Mary's basketball. Into the ball game now for St. Mary's is Todd Gandy, big fellow at center. Anthony Houston with 4:12 to play for St. Mary's. Rattlers trailing by 8. Derryberry. There's a whistle on the foul underneath. It's going to be called on Calvin Haynes. That's 4. Calvin Haynes holding on the play. And they can't afford to have him out of there. He's got 4 personal fouls. But he's got 19 points. Great leaper. That's the 4th team foul. 4 minutes and 8 seconds to play. It's to Anthony Houston. He shoots. He hits. Anthony makes it 6 for him. It's 61-55. Less than 4 minutes to play. Gary Payne into the forecourt. As he strides right, sprays left. Gets a pick. Doesn't go on through. In the corner, it's to Anthony Stewart. Back out to Gary Payne. 30 seconds on the shot clock. 3:48 to play. Roadrunners by 6. Gary Payne all the way to the left side. To Hartman. Hartman throws the ball away out of bounds to Haynes. Well, they can't stand prosperity and go back to adversity. 61-55, 3:40 to play. Rattlers trail by 6. Anthony Houston into the forecourt. 3:35 to play in the ball game. Houston looking out front. Gives it off to Gandy. Back to Houston. Guarded by Pettis. And there's a whistle and a foul called on Pettis. That's the 5th. DeLaune's 3rd. And it will come to St. Mary's out of bounds. 61-55. Roadrunners playing tenaciously. Their best game of the year overall. Whether they win, lose, or draw, this is it for them. They played well. St. Mary's also played well. Comes over to Miller. Miller slides, but gives it off to Houston. 3:20 to play in the game. Confetti is flying. Placards are waving. Here it is. Fields shoots and hits. Barry Fields. I don't know why I keep saying Greg. Barry makes it 12 points for him. 61-57. There's a whistle on a foul called on Gandy. Gandy gets the foul in the forecourt. That means Haynes will go to the line. Gandy's 3rd. And that is 1 and 1. Roadrunners still have 1 to give. 61-57, 3:12 to play. At the line is Calvin Haynes. Don Eddy urging his troops on. He'd like to call into the fortress and say, okay, let's arm the battlements. Haynes needs these 2. The first one. Good. Haynes got it. Calvin has been a difference. He's got 21 points so far. He gets 1 more. 62-57. 3:12 to play. This one's a dandy. The second shot by Calvin. No good. And Gandy gets the rebound. 62-57. 3:10 to go in the game. Anthony Houston for St. Mary's into the forecourt. He tries to intercede to the right. Goes right on the pick. Still has it. DeLaune Pettis on the defense. Fields. Barry. Turns. Fakes. Can't shoot. We got 2:52 to play in the game. Here's Derryberry, a pumper, way up front. It's no good. Haynes has the rebound. Whistle foul in the backcourt on Derryberry. Roadrunners looking like they might control it. Foul is called on Derryberry. 3rd foul on him. 1 and 1 for Haynes. He needs both of them. 62-57, 2:47 to play in the ball game. Roadrunners trying to break an 8-game losing streak, longest in history. St. Mary's 6 and 7. Roadrunners haven't won since December. I believe it's December 7th. Haynes shooting, bounces twice. Here it is. Good. Calvin got it. He will get another. He has 22 points unofficially. 63-57. 6-point lead, 2:47 to play. He gets 1 more. He can put a little more icing on the cake right here. There's the sign, a push. DeLaune. This is our den of decimals and dribbles right here at Hemisphere Arena, downtown. St. Mary's basketball. Roadrunners lead by 7 with 2:44 to play. They need to stage a defensive stand like Custer didn't have at Little Bighorn. We'll see if they can do it. Ready to go. This game is brought to you in part by Helota State Bank, by the NCO Association, by Med Center Bank, by Builder Square, Advantage Rent-A-Car, Dan Scarapa Realty, Lone Star Body and Paint, Performance Nissan, Trinity Baptist Church, La Quinta, and Calisons. And here we go. St. Mary's basketball, Anthony Houston into the full court. Pete Hansen is fouled out, the leading rebounder. Derry Berry has it knocked away, and here comes, it's going to be a breakaway to Calvin Haynes. He will go up. He's fouled by Derry Berry. Calvin had the breakaway. That should be a two-shot foul. 1 and 1, says James Barris. Well, he was going up for the shot, but he saw it apparently the other way. 1 and 1 for Calvin Haynes. Calvin has been at the line a lot in the second half. Here's the first one. Good. We'll get one more, and we're going to have Jim figure out how many he's shot from the free throw line so far. Calvin gets one more. He is 6 out of 8. Here's his 9th. He's got it. 7 of 9 for Calvin Haynes. It's 66-57, 2:33 to play. And St. Mary's trails by 9. Andre Walker back in. You got Houston, Walker, Fields, Mark Miller, and Gandy. Houston in the forecourt. You got 2:25 to play. To Fields. Fields looks. He holds up. Still has it on the dribble. He tries to penetrate. He goes up and shoots. It's no good. Here's the rebound. Taken by DeLaune Pettis. It comes over to Anthony Stewart. It comes over to Haynes. He lays it up. He hits! Calvin Haynes! He danced across Hartwood Avenue with a dribble two-step, and he waltzed in for 2. 68-57, 11-point lead now for the Birds. Calvin Haynes has done it himself tonight. Stolen by Haynes. It quickly goes over to Gary Payne. He will drive. He will lay it up. He will hit it. Gary Payne goes in for 2 more. He has 10 points. Roadrunners, where have you been? 70-57, 150 to play. They lead by 13. 1:45 left to go in the game. They may have cemented this one. It may snap the longest streak in their history. Here's a shot by Anthony Houston. It's no good. Here's Harbin. Here is the play to Haynes. Haynes will drive. He loses it. He travels it. And it's going to be going over to St. Mary's with 1:37 to go. A 13-point lead. 70-57. 1:37 to play. Timeout is called for the Roadrunners with 1:37 to go. A 13-point lead. Who would have thunk it? Who would have believed it? And we've got it right here. We'll be back in 60. Sounds like 13,000 in here tonight. It's loud. But it's a 13-point lead, 1:37 to go for the Roadrunners, and barring Akeem Olajuwon or Jabbar, I think the Roadrunners have this one wrapped up. Here's Fields tossing it in to Anthony Houston. We've got 1:35 to go and less. Fields almost dribbles with the ball, leaves it out front for Douglas underneath, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. It'll go to St. Mary's with 1:29 to play. Drive. He goes up, shoots, has it rejected by Tyrone Harbin, and he wants to shoot it again. Andre Walker looks. He throws it to Houston, underneath to Walker to Miller. He's got it. 70-59, 1:16 to play. Here comes Gary Payne. Scoots and shoots into the forecourt. He still has it. He's fouled by Mark Miller. Mark Miller got him in the forecourt. Mark has 10 points all this half. And it's 70-59 with 1:11 to play. Roadrunners lead by 11. This is the first time this year they've led this late in the ball game, this consistently and this authoritatively. This would be an upset tonight, no doubt about that. Gary Payne shooting 1-1. He needs to hit one of them. He bends his knees, he pops and he hits. Gary Payne's probably best game ever as a Roadrunner. He has a total of 11 points. He gets one more at 71-59, a minute 11 to play. He bends at the knee. He shoots. Good. Gary Payne makes it 72-59, a minute 9 to play. Roadrunners have got this one in the sack. Comes over to Fields. Fields looks for St. Mary's. Goes in the corner to Anthony Houston. Underneath it comes to Mark Miller. He goes up and has it rejected, knocked out of bounds by Harbin. There's going to be a foul called on Perone. 58 seconds to go. 72-59. Two-shot foul. Two-shot foul on Perone. That's only his second foul. 72-59. 58 seconds to go. 13-point lead for the Roadrunners. Mark Miller at the line with 10 points this half. He has played well. He's been the offense, just about all the offense for the Rattlers. Came off the bench as the sixth man. He's got the first one. He has 11 points in the half, and it's 72-60. A dozen is the spread. 58 seconds all that's left in this one, the third annual Mayor's Challenge Cup. Mark bounces 4 times, and here's the push. He's got another one. He has 12, and it's 72-61. 11 points is the lead now. Comes over to Harbin. Harbin back to Payne. Here comes Gary. Into the forecourt, and he's fouled in the backcourt by Mark Miller. With 55 seconds to play. 72-61. Miller gets his second foul, and that will go 1-1 for Gary Payne. Or is it a two-shot foul? Two-shot foul. Okay, well, that's better. Gary Payne, coming into this ball game, as we told you earlier, was 5 of 8, 62% free throw shooter. He's got 2 here. One just about cemented. First one's good. He is now 5 of 5 this half at the line. What a difference a half makes. It was 36-33 at the half. The Roadrunners led by 3. 73-61, 55 seconds to go. He gets one more. He pushes. He hits it. Gary Payne makes it 74-61, 52 seconds left to play in the game. Now it's down to 50. Now it's down to 49, 48, 47. Here it is. It's to underneath to Miller. Miller goes up and shoots. It's no good. And here's the rebound cleared away by Fields. He goes up. He shoots. It's good. 40 seconds to play. It's 74-63. Fields gets his basket. He has 14. Quickly comes over to Harbin. Harbin looks, gives it off to Stewart. Stewart dives. It's going to go to St. Mary's with 27 seconds to go. Miller leaves it off for Walker. He's got it. 20 seconds to play. It's 74-65. It's a 9-point lead. And let's see. There's going to be a whistle and a foul. And it's going to be called on, is it on St. Mary's? Or on UTSA? It's on St. Mary's. It's on Anthony Houston pushing off, and that will send the Roadrunners to the line, leading by 9 with 18 seconds to go, and they've got this one. And it will be Anthony Stewart at the line. He's a young man you want in there if anybody goes. The fast foul was called on Anthony Houston. 18 seconds to go, 74-65. Here's Anthony, an 87% free throw shooter. It's 1-1. Here's the first one. Good. Anthony Stewart. And the Roadrunners have snapped the long losing streak. It's 75-65, 18 seconds to play. The second shot is also good. And it's now 76-65. And here is Anthony Houston dribbling into the forecourt, driving, kicking, shooting. And it's good. On the tip. Let's see who got the tip. Or did they count it or not? Timeout is called by St. Mary's. The tip was given to Ed Mills, I believe. Yeah, he got the tip, so we'll keep it right here. The score is 76-67. It's a 9-point lead with 10 seconds to go. We don't have a timeout. Back to play, they say. I'm glad we didn't break away. It'll be Roadrunner basketball with 10 seconds to go. They lead by 9. Unless Mount Etna erupts again, they have this one in the bag. Here it is. Gary Payne gives it off to Haynes, and it's back to Gary Payne. And he will try to squirt and shoot into the forecourt. Comes over to Stewart. He saves it. He has it. Kicks it off to Harbin. Harbin will drive. And there's the ball game. The Roadrunners win 76-67. They upset St. Mary's tonight in the third of the series, and will return in 2 minutes. Roadrunners, Dr. James Wagoner, president of UTSA, Coach Don Eddy, and the Roadrunners, all ecstatic over this victory, are out there with the giant cup, which is, of course, rotating, and the big trophy. And this may be the game that can turn it around for the Bird program in 85-86. Mayor Cisneros presents the trophy, and boy, the Roadrunners they're a pickled ball club, let me tell you. We're going to try to get Calvin Haynes out here, but I don't think we'll have time now. We're running so late with the broadcast on KRNN, Radio News Network, Carroll Hill, San Antonio. But Calvin Haynes, the young man they thought was going to be a star 2 years ago, may have found his metamorphosis tonight, and he may have left his cocoon and become a beautiful moth flying toward the basket as he scored unofficially 26 points. Unofficially, this is the score. Darryl Derryberry had 9, 14 for Barry Fields, 7 for Andre Walker, 5 for Pete Hansen, 10 for James Douglas, 6 for Anthony Houston, 12 for Mark Miller, all in the second half, 2 for Ed Mills, and Todd Gandy did not score. 67 is the total. It was 36-33 at the half. Roadrunners by 3. 9 points for Jerome Harbin. Big Pin had 2, 2 for Dion Pettis, Faulkner had 2, 17 for Anthony Stewart, 26 for Calvin Haynes, Roger Durden had 1, 14 for Gary Payne, 2 for Gary Highland, and boy, Baker played a lot. He didn't make any mistakes, but he was just a good influence in there on the floor. Looking at it from the free throw line, the second half, the Birds had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 free throws the second half, and they only missed 3. They were 15 of 18 the second half, and in the first half, they were 4 of 6. So what a difference it makes in the second half. Here are the statistics according to Jim Erda. Field goal percentage-wise, UTSA was 28 of 48, 58%, their best of the year. Free throws, 20 out of 25, 80%. They had 27 rebounds. Now, on the other side of the agenda, only 4 free throws taken in the second half for St. Mary's. That shows you the total turnaround. 6 free throws taken the first half by the Roadrunners, only 4 the second half for St. Mary's, as Tony Stigliano and James Burris of the Southwest Conference were the men of official note tonight. So 3 Roadrunners in double figures. You had 17 for Anthony Stewart, 26 for Calvin Haynes, 14 for Gary Payne. You had